Hello, writers, and welcome back to Spooky Writes, your channel all about writing. I'm your host, who is secretly a ghost, Kamal Ulnor. Now, today we're going to be talking about which is more important. Is it more important to be seen writing, or should you be behind the scenes when you're writing? So that's what we're talking about today. So if you get any value from this video, make sure to give it a good thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps it out a lot. And with that said, let's head into the storm.
It's the raven's call, the werewolf's howl, the vampire's bite. You search through the woods for safety, but all you find is... Okay, rights.
So have you ever been to a cafe or a bookstore and you see someone sitting there with their typewriter clicking away at the keys? Now, is this person doing it more for a show to say, hey, look at me, I'm writing? And is this actually beneficial to the creative process? Personally, I don't think that's a beneficial part to the creative process. I believe if you want to look like you're writing, you can honestly just go out, buy a cardigan, get yourself a moleskin notebook, and call it a day. But if you actually want to do the hard work of writing, you have to do it more or less in isolation. There's so much isolation that comes with the craft of writing. When you're writing a story, whether you're writing a story or you're writing a novel, in both cases, it's a lot of time in a room by yourself. Yes, it can be nice to go out to a cafe, order a cup of coffee or tea, whatever is your bag. I'm not going to judge, but it can be nice to do that. It can be nice to go out there with a notebook and just kind of sit in a corner quietly, but I don't think it's beneficial to be drawing attention to yourself of look at me, I'm a writer, I'm writing. If you need this type of validation, it's that to me suggests that you're pretty early on in your process of writing and that you feel that you need to be validated by people either coming up to you and saying, hey, what are you working on? Or, ooh, can I read a little bit of it? Or whatever. I tend not to write in coffee shops because I tend to write on a very heavy desktop computer because I like returning to the space. Because for me, I like to have that familiarity of coming to the same space, sitting down, same location. And I hate being interrupted. I've been on trains across the country before, and I've been writing with a pen and a notebook, and people come up to me and they say, oh, you don't see many people do that anymore. I'm just like, yeah, that's why I'm writing. So I don't like being interrupted. I don't like having that aspect of people potentially interrupting me, whether it's just background noise. I don't need the white noise around me. I'm perfectly fine sitting down in a room in complete silence and typing away at the keyboard by myself. And this, so if you want to be successful as an author, I highly recommend that you get comfortable being with yourself. And something that I'm also working on that I'm going to tie into this video is working on being more present in your everyday activities, which means what that might mean taking out your earbuds, taking out anything that you're listening to, whether you're getting on the bus or you're going just down to the store, you're doing something that's monotonous and you typically just pop in some music. I would recommend that you start working on being more present in your everyday activities, just walking around, noticing what you hear, but noticing what kind of things you hear, noticing what is going on around you. And the more that you are present in your everyday life, the better this is going to be you're going to be able to reflect this in your writing. So I don't think it's beneficial I don't see much benefit in the idea of look at me, I have to be seen writing in order for me to be validated as a writer. No, so much of writing is done in isolation, so much of writing is done on your own, so much of it is done behind the scenes, and then you only end up presenting the finished product to the world, to your editors, or to whomever it is that you're working with, whether you're submitting short stories or you're working on a novel, whatever it is, you only end up submitting the finished product that you have produced. It's very, very similar to touch on sort of the idea of theater. So theater back in William Shakespeare's day, the lords and ladies would sit above the stage. Now, this is not beneficial for viewing the play of what's going on, but it was more about being seen, being just kind of out in the open. And look, the lords and ladies are above the stage, and they're able to be seen along with the play. And as an author, you need to understand that you need to slip away to the background. You shouldn't be feeling a need to be front and center all the time. And look at me, I'm writing. You don't have to be validated through the act of writing. You can write in the same room alone by yourself every single day and produce a large amount of writing. And no one's going to care until you're presenting your finished product. So you need to focus on doing the work, focus on the writing. Again, if you just want to appear like as though you're a writer, go buy a cardigan, go get a moleskin notebook, get a nice hat, walk around smoking cigarettes, drinking black coffee, or whatever you believe fits this idea of what a writer looks like. Because a writer honestly looks like a normal person who has decided to spend their time in isolation working on the craft of writing and putting words onto paper, putting words onto a screen. And this is what's going to separate those who are pretenders from those who are actually successful and are actually chasing the craft of writing. So if you want to chase the craft of writing, get comfortable writing in isolation, get comfortable being alone, be more present in your everyday and observe your surroundings. And this is going to help you the most. So with that, keep it spooky.
And now we must return to the shadows.